Hi, everybody, and welcome to the webinar on business management, which is AAT Level 2 subject, BMA 204 subject. So this has been identified by the Institute as a poor performing subject. That means students obtaining low marks during last few examinations. So that the Institute decided to conduct a short webinar for approximately 1 hour in English medium to assist our students to brilliant in fundamental concepts in management and strategic management, in which that they have scored low marks in last exam. So please remember, this is not to cover the entire syllabus of the subject business management, but just a summing up session or a summary type webinar for you to help brilliant in basics in management concepts and also identify how to write answers for the question paper. And in your course manual, that is the guidebook of the subject, very clearly mention the weightage for each and every area. For an example, say change management 5%, strategic management 10%, introduction to management and perspectives of management, then 10%, like that. Weightage is given. Similar weightage will be given in the question paper in assessment as well. So please carefully note that the weightage given in the guidebook. Next thing, when writing answers for this subject, remember to identify the question first. If we ask to identify, define, mention, list down, so easily you can write it in 1 or 2 sentences or in point form. But for the questions like describe, briefly analyze, compare and contrast, or explain, briefly explain, explain with an example, remember to write quite lengthy answers, providing some of the modern examples. So that would add value to you and easy for you to get more marks in assessments. Right. Please keep that in your mind. So this is the subject business management. So I thought of starting from a very simple point, because brilliant in basics, brilliant in fundamental concepts, then easy for you to put across your other areas into the final effort, that is including human resource management, marketing management, operations management, finance, then change management, strategic management, and all the functions of management process, starting from planning, organizing, and leading, again subdivided into 3: leadership, motivation and communication, and controlling, and also the heart of the management process, problem solving and decision making. So brilliant in all these areas, but this webinar will help you to brilliant in basics. Then you can refer to your course manual, guidebook for more details. Right. First, we'll start from a very simple known point. What is management? So management can be defined as the art of getting things done through others or by others. Getting things done through others. Who are the others? Not the people walking on roads and corridors here and there. They are employees. And what is the meaning of things? That is the primary task of the business organization that we have to accomplish to achieve the mission of the business organization. Students, you might know the difference between vision and mission. Vision is like a guideline to achieve the mission. We never achieve the vision. It shows the direction. According to the direction given by the vision, what we achieve in the business, we achieve the mission. Mission explains the existence, why we exist, without shutting down the business and go home. What is the purpose of existence? That is mission. So here the things in the definition means the primary function of the business or principal function of the business that we have to carry out to achieve the mission of the business organization. So this is the oldest definition included in your guidebook, getting things done through others. Next one is very, very important, which is very comprehensive, presented by father of management, Henry Fayol. Management is the process of 4 things: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling of 4 types of resources: human, physical, monetary, and information resources. So this is the modern classification of resources, remember. But earlier we had 5 M's concept and 7 M's concept. But according to the definition, how we classify today resources as human, physical, monetary, and information resources. And why we have to plan, organize, lead, and control of these 4 types of resources to achieve organizational targets, that means goals and objectives, effectively and efficiently. There are 3 basic concepts in management: effectiveness, efficiency, and productivity. So we'll see the meaning of that. Before that, there is something interesting on the slide you see. The English word management is constructed, according to Professor Dava, by combining these 3 parts of the word: manage, men, and the final letter T stands for tactfully. That means strategically. So it is another idea, according to the term, English term management. Handling people tactfully is all about management. People means employees and other relevant stakeholders of a business organization. Handling people tactfully, strategically. That is the idea given by Professor Dava. That is why, practically speaking, primary attention is given to people factor, employees, right? Because they will handle other resources. They will handle the customer. They will handle the production process and ensure the quality, all of these. So handle people, that means employees, they will handle rest of the resources. Right, this is the first concept according to that definition given by Henry Fayol. Efficiency. What is efficiency? It's all about doing things right, as defined by Peter Drucker. Today we consider Peter Drucker as the father of modern management. He said, efficiency is all about doing things right. And also, it connects to the use of inputs, limited resources, minimizing the wastage as much as possible. If we use resources to achieve organizational targets and create an outcome, that is efficiency. Minimizing the wastage as much as possible. We have to use resources, eradicating or minimizing as much as possible. That is all about use of resources. That is efficiency. But effectiveness, according to Peter Drucker, effectiveness is about doing the right thing. You see, what is efficiency? Doing things right. But effectiveness, doing the right thing. And it links with the output. That means achieving the intended objective within the intended time constraints, within the given time scale. We have to achieve the preset objective, preset target within the given time frame. Say we set a particular target like improving the net profit by 2% in comparison to the last year. We have to achieve that target before 21st December that particular year, say 2023. Achieving the target within the stipulated time period, that is effectiveness. Then what is productivity? According to Peter Drucker, we can combine effectiveness and efficiency, doing the right thing in the right way. Doing the right thing in the right way, that is productivity. But quantitatively, we can express it as a ratio between output to input. Output divided by input. We say productivity is better when the productivity ratio is greater than 1. That means with minimum resources or inputs, we obtain a maximum output. When the productivity ratio is greater than 1, we say that is better for a business organization. And remember another thing, normally we check this in MCQ questions in the paper during last few years. If you refer to past papers, easily you find this. Effectiveness is a qualitative concept, but efficiency and productivity, they are quantitative concepts. Out of 3 basic concepts in management, efficiency and productivity are quantitative concepts, but this one, effectiveness, is a qualitative concept. And efficiency and effectiveness are 2 opposing concepts. So we have to keep a proper balance between these 2. If an organization over concerned about efficiency, what will happen? Effectiveness will go down. We miss the effectiveness. If we over concerned about effectiveness, achieving the target during the stipulated time period anyhow, what will happen? Resource wastage will go up. It hinders the efficiency. So it's like a seesaw. We have to keep a proper balance between efficiency and effectiveness to get the productivity. All these information given in your guidebook. Right. And another interesting thing in management is, so we have different approaches and perspectives in the history to explain how this organizational management, business management has been evolved. Considering the similarity of different teachings and research findings, we classify those approaches under classical approach, human relations approach, system and systems approach. So under classical approach, there are basically 3 perspectives. Scientific management introduced by Frederick Taylor, F.W. Taylor. Administrative management introduced by Henry Fayol. And bureaucracy introduced by Max Weber. In classical approach, we believed humans are economic creatures. Giving money, monetary rewards, we can motivate employees. But Elton Mayo did a comprehensive research at the Chicago plant, Hawthorne plant at USA, General Electric's Chicago Hawthorne plant. And he found and declared humans are not only economic creatures, they are social creatures. They have social needs. And you remember that needs hierarchy theory presented by Abraham Maslow. Other than physiological and security needs, so there are social, emotional and esteem needs for people. And at the top, at the apex of that hierarchy, that is self-actualization. So humans are then not only economic creatures, but social creatures as well. And Elton Mayo concluded that workplace is not a mere place to come and work. It is a complex social system. Workplace itself is a society, and also it is a crosscut of the general society. But today, we believe and practice things according to the systems approach as well, in which it says organizational management structure or any organization is a system of different subsystems. It's a system of different subsystems. So under that, we talk about synergy effect, where all these subsystems operate in a well-coordinated manner. The collective outcome generated is more than the total sum of individual pieces. You see, then we talk about synergy effect and also entropy in systems approach. Please familiar with these terms. For that, leisurely refer to your guidebook, course manual. So this is about classical approach. As I said, it says organization should have a formal structure, acceptance of a series of universal management principles, right? And a line of authority and responsibility, and functional differentiation of post, span of control, lines of communication, and hierarchy of management. These are the key attributes of this classical approach school. And they focus on, you see the first bullet point, an organization has broad objectives, which are then broken down to each business units. In strategic management topic, if you read carefully, you will find some strategic business units in multi-business organizations, MBOs, not like in a single business organization, in a diversified company, to each strategic business unit, right? How the principal function and the corporate mission cascaded down into unit level, team level, and individual level. Then activities of the organization are grouped into sections. Then sectional activities are grouped into departmental activities until individual activities are determined. This is how this breakdown process happens. Authority is delegated, can be delegated. Responsibility and accountability both are well defined. Work with each other on a formal basis. These are the ways described in classical approach. The first was scientific management theory by Frederick Taylor, who is considered the father of scientific management theory. He created the scientific method to do the work following one best method. Today in corporate jargon, we use the word standard operating procedures, aligned with division of labor and specialization. So then you see basic three concepts in the scientific management theory of F.W. Taylor. One is division of labor, other one specialization and standardization. What is standardization? That is having one best method for some routine activities. These three we recognize as the behavioral elements of job designing as well. That is available under human resource management topic in your guidebook. So there are several assumptions in scientific management that is given in your guidebook as well. Human is an economic creature and can be motivated through monetary rewards. That was the belief. Employees' physical ability is more important and training is a must. As Frederick Taylor said, training is a must. There should be a one best method to do the work. So no alternative methods. Following the standard operating procedure, we can save time, which could be possibly allocated for strategic thinking and other strategic activities. Once we have a standard operating procedure for routine activities and some repetitive activities. And they seriously recommend work study and motion study to improve the efficiency of a particular process. Heavily, division of labor and specialization were used in scientific management. So these are the basic 5 principles embodied in scientific management theory. One best method to do the work effectively. Employee selection is done on a scientific basis. That means following the best way. Employee training is done on a scientific basis. Human is like a machine and salary is the basic motivator, which is not 100% correct. Elton Mayo challenged to this principle by concluding human is a social creature, not just like a machine. Collectivism rather than individualism. These are the basic 5 sub-principles of scientific management theory. Then the second school of thoughts under classical approach is administrative management, introduced by Henry Fayol. And remember, Henry Fayol is considered the father of administrative management, and also Henry Fayol is considered the father of management. Right? What he said, he developed the interest in management training, analyzed management to create a series of management principles that can be taught and trained. Right? These are the principles he introduced. Right? And he grouped the management functions like this. he distinguished between organizational activities and management functions. Technical, commercial, financial, security, accounting, and management are organizational activities. In management, he introduced there are 4 sub-functions: planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. But he subdivided leading into just 2, commanding and coordinating. But today, we develop the theory and also the practice in third management function, managerial function, leading. There are 3 sub-functions: communication, motivation, and leadership. That is today way that we introduce. This is how Henry Fayol introduced. Just commanding and coordinating considered under leading. Right. Then, as I said, human relation approach by Elton Mayo became into the practice after that Hawthorne experiments, and concluded that human is a social creature, not like a machine, not like just an economic creature as concluded in the previous perspective. Humans are having more emphasis on social factors than money or other economic factors. Thus, human can be motivated by fulfilling social needs as well. Employees are work in groups in an organization, and Elton Mayo concluded that group behavior of people are completely different from individual behaviors. Group behaviors are different. When they plug into a particular clique, they behave in a different way, not like their individual behavior. And what Mayo said, within the formal organization, informal work groups can be seen, where people are there, informal communication is there, informal groups are there. And productivity depends more on group norms in such a setting, not just on standard operating procedures. Hence, a working environment itself is a complex social system. And also, as I said, it is a crosscut of the general society as well. Understanding this group dynamics is a must in management. Group dynamics. And in between Elton Mayo's human relation approach and systems approach, we see contingency approach as well. According to this theory, there is no universally accepted common management style to manage an organization. Nothing like that in management. One best universally accepted management style. The most effective and appropriate way of managing an organization depends upon the situational factors and leaders' ability to cope with. Who are the leaders? Again, managers. Remember, Henry Mintzberg introduced 10 roles that manager has to perform in the post of manager. 10 roles, which are further grouped into 3: decisional roles, interpersonal roles, and informational roles. All 10 roles, Henry Mintzberg further classified into 3 baskets: interpersonal roles, informational roles, and decisional roles. You see, right? So, leader is a manager in the business context. But in your guidebook, as a table, we have presented difference between leader and the manager theoretically, but according to that role analysis presented by Henry Mintzberg, manager has to perform leader's role as well. The best or the most appropriate management style depends on situational factors and leader's ability to cope with, right? Situationally, the most appropriate one. So nothing like the best approach in management. Sometimes we have to be target-oriented. Sometimes we have to be people-oriented. Sometimes we have to keep a proper balance. Say, for an example, in a month-end or year-end process of a bank, we have to be target-oriented. That is target orientation, right? But in a relaxed period where, welfare facilities are quite considered, and such a welfare facility is the priority of the business. You see. Then it's like people orientation. People orientation. Right. The next is systems approach. As I said, organization is a system of different subsystems according to this thing. Organization is largely a system of inputs and outputs that consist of interrelated, interacting, or interdependent components. See 3 words: interrelated, interacting, and interdependent. Those components can be termed as subsystems. So simply you remember, according to systems approach, organization is a system of different subsystems. Think of our human body also. Human body itself is a system of subsystems. Different subsystems are there. Human body comprises different subsystems. Similarly, now substitute that into an organization. Organization itself is a corporate citizen. You and me, we are civil citizens, but organization is a corporate citizen. So it is a system of different subsystems. So these are just to recall your memory about different perspectives and some of the basic management principles. But our major focus is on strategic intentions of organizations, where we found our students are less performing in the exam. Strategic management. That is the advanced version of your subject in simple terms. Strategic management. So the term strategy says, actually strategic management in a very literary way, literature way, we can say the art of the general. When doing war in the ancient Greek, art of the general. Here in modern business world also, we use it as a war strategy, because doing a business is like doing a war, no? Doing a business is like doing a war. So we have to use strategies to get sustainable competitive advantage. Not just competitive advantage, but sustainable competitive advantage. So in basic strategic management model, we have 3 areas to consider: strategic analysis, strategic choice, and strategic implementation. Further, these major 3 functions we can subdivide into 9. Under strategic analysis, we do environment analysis and analyzing expectations and the purposes of stakeholders. Then analysis of resources, competencies, and capabilities of the business organization. That is like internal analysis. Under strategic choice, we have to derive the basis of strategic choice, then identify alternative strategic options to compete in the market, either competitive strategies or cooperative strategies. Then evaluate and select the most appropriate strategy to be applied to get sustainable competitive advantage in the industry, in the market. Under strategic implementation, we have to think of structure and the design, strategic change, especially culture and the structure, control of resources. There is a famous saying in strategic management: strategy follows the structure, also structure follows the strategy. And there should be a compatibility between culture, structure, and the strategy, then easy implementation. Culture, structure, and the strategy. There should be a compliance between all these 3. Right. So why we have to consider this strategic management in a broader way? We use this knowledge to formulate appropriate strategies to compete in the market for business organizations. So what is strategy formulation? Strategy is a plan, it is a ploy, it is a philosophy, it is a pattern So there are different alternative ideas presented by Henry Mintzberg to explain what is a strategy. In simple terms, it is a plan that we use to gain and retain competitive advantage over the competition in the long run. In the long run means then it is sustainable competitive advantage. Strategy is something unique for the business. Other competitors cannot copy the strategy. They can copy a product. They can copy a particular target. But students, remember, if it is a good strategy, competitors cannot copy the strategy. Competitors cannot copy the strategy. So strategy formulation is the process of identifying various strategic options which could be effectively used to realize the strategic aims of a business organization, right? Either single business organization or multi-business organization. So in strategy formulation process of a single business organization, we see just 3 levels. SBO is an organization which engage in only one business, like Coca-Cola, BMW, Micro, Ceylon Tobacco, McDonald's, British Airways, in one business. It's not diversified, right? Concentration strategies are the most applicable business strategy for SBO. That is very important. Concentration strategies, concentric growth and concentration strategies. So hierarchy of strategies comprises just 3 levels of single business organization. At the top, corporate level strategies, then functional level strategies, and then operational level strategies. This is for SBO, single business organization. But on the other hand, for a multi-business organization, that means for a group of companies, for a diversified business, for holding companies, which engage more than one business, then they operate in different industries, in different markets. You see, more than one industry, more than one market, right? These are some of the examples for MBOs, multi-business organizations, Virgin Group, Unilever, Tata, John Keels, Selinco, Aitken Spence, Dambro, Hemas. We can provide a lengthy list of names of organizations. What is the most appropriate strategy for them? Diversified strategies. So see the difference, especially these things are important for you to get marks for MCQs in the paper, or that true false questions, or filling the blanks questions, some focus areas, easy, key knowledge, right? Fundamentals. For single business organization, concentration strategies, because they are just operating in one industry, one market. But for a multi-business organization, diversified strategies. So these are the 4 levels of strategy formulation of a multi-business organization. Business level strategies are available here. But in a single business organization, you might have seen on that particular slide, we have just 3 levels. Corporate level strategies, then functional level strategies, and operational level strategies. But in a multi-business organization, we see some additional area, that is business level strategies, that is for strategic business units. So at the top of both single business or multi-business, we see corporate level strategies. So in this webinar, I'll focus more on corporate level strategies, not operational level or functional level. Corporate level strategies focus on how a corporate parent enhances its overall corporate value and gaining and retaining corporate advantage. That means sustainable competitive advantage by managing the nature and extent of its business portfolio in multi-industries. Business portfolio. That means different businesses, business portfolio, different businesses in different industries, in different markets. You see the word business portfolio, right? So under corporate level strategies, we see first growth strategy, then revival strategy, which is opposite of growth, then stabilization strategy and hybrid strategies. Hybrid. That means combination of some strategies as mentioned above, but as appropriate. Growth strategy, revival strategy or reversal strategy, stabilization strategy or hybrid. Hybrid. So under growth strategies, we can classify diversification in terms of business scope and the geographical scope. Also concentration in terms of the business scope and the geographical scope. But there are 4 modes of growth: mergers, merge 2 corporations, or acquisitions. One organization purchase another organization, that is acquire, acquisition. Corporate venturing and form strategic alliances like OPEC cartel, strategic alliances. Okay, we'll see diversification and concentration separately, and also generic strategies implemented or introduced by Michael Porter, right? Michael Porter is a very famous name for you. He introduced 5 forces to analyze the industry environment, to understand the degree of attractiveness and the competitiveness. It's a tool that we use for environmental scanning in strategic planning process. And also Michael Porter introduced these generic strategies and also value chain analysis, classifying organizational activities as primary and supporting activities. 5 primary activities starting from inbound logistics to services to generate a higher margin. So remember the value chain analysis, and 4 supporting activities or secondary activities. Here and there, everywhere in management, we see Michael Porter and his theories. Remember the name, right? You might be getting more marks if you mention some names as well. In this webinar also, I mentioned several names, starting from F.W. Taylor, father of scientific management, Henry Fayol, Max Weber, Elton Mayo, Henry Mintzberg, Michael Porter, right? Remember some names as well. So what is diversification? A company is said to be diversified when it operates in 2 or more lines of businesses, locally or globally. 2 or more businesses. We have to diversify then, because operate in multiple industries, multiple markets. Diversification takes the company away from its current markets and products into new businesses and new industries. Then multiple industries and multiple markets. Strategy making in a diversified business is more challenging than in a concentrated business organization. What is a concentrated business? That means single business organization. What is a diversified firm? Multi-business organization, or as mentioned, we have some alternative names: holding companies, group of companies. A diversified business needs a multi-industry, multi-business strategy. According to business scope, we identify 2 types of diversification: related diversification and unrelated diversification. So this unrelated diversification, alternatively we termed as conglomerate as well. That means diversified up to a significant extent. We create some conglomerates, right? What is related diversification? There are close links and similarities in manufacturing, marketing, or technology of each industry and business value chain activities. There are close links and similarities in manufacturing, marketing, including distribution, pricing, and all, technology of each industry or business value chain activity. Related diversification. Diversify the business, but into some related industries. Why we say related? There are some similarities in these aspects in each industry or each market, each business value chain. But in unrelated diversification, there are vast differences in manufacturing, marketing, or technology of each industry, each business value chain activities. Like hegemony into hotel, because initially hegemony was into apparel, but now it's a diversified business like MAS, Dambro, Brandix, Ricardo into water bottles manufacturing, right? Quite unrelated. Industries are not connected. Their value chains are not connected or substitutes to each other. Right, then we'll get on to the next one, that is a single business organization's concentration. Under that, we consider concentric growth. What is the meaning of concentric growth? You see on the slide. As opposed to diversification growth, concentration or concentration growth is a corporate level growth oriented strategy that helps to expand the organizational scope, value chain controllability, and synergy in a single industry, single business, single market, or product, single product with dominant technology. That is concentration. Concentration more on their core business activity, core technology, core production, and some other core capabilities. So generate a sustainable competitive advantage over a period of time by concentrating. That is for a single business organization. Integration is the main concentration strategy. There are two types of integration: vertical integration and horizontal integration. This vertical integration also again subdivide into two: backward integration and forward integration. So this is an example for this horizontal and vertical integration, considering 5 forces model introduced by Michael Porter, right? So if we integrate with suppliers and customers, that is vertical integration. If we integrate with our suppliers, that is backward integration, that is the backward of the production process. If we integrate with the distributors and wholesalers or retailers, what is that? That is forward integration. Forward part of the production process. That is forward integration. But horizontal integration, that is complementary integration and substitutes integration. Substitution, as you see in the previous slide also. Substitution integration, that means we integrate with substitute suppliers. Threat of new entrants, if we integrate with new entrants, that is quite complementary. So this is an example for vertical integration. Vertical integration of the value chain, stages in the value chain. So raw material supply, intermediate manufacturing, assembly, distribution, and then the end user. End user. You see, right? If we integrate assembly point, Apple company, that is the assembly point. If the company or the value chain activities integrate with raw material suppliers and intermediate manufacturers, that is backward integration. Backward part of the production process, that is backward integration. If the company integrate with distributors, end users, retailers, wholesalers, and other agents after the product is being produced, that is forward integration. So this is very good example considering Apple company, right? Apple company. This is another example for horizontal integration. Apple integrate with HP, that is complementary competitor. If Apple integrate with IBM, a similar competitor, that is substitution integration. With some shared services, today we can integrate with competitors, which is known as competition. C-O-O-P-E, competition, not the competition. Then cooperatively compete to get maximum advantage for all of the parties into that integration or the strategic alliance, right? Remember, the era of competition is now already gone. This is the era of competition. Cooperatively compete. That's the meaning of competition. Right. Then some modes are given in your course manual or the guidebook, like mergers. It's like a corporate marriage. Two organizations marry. Corporate divorce also then available. That is corporate demerge. Acquisitions and corporate venturing, either sole venturing or joint venturing, and strategic alliance or strategic partnering. Some of the modes for diversification and concentration, right? Growth strategies. Then what is the meaning of revival? That is like taking one step back. Taking one step back also a strategy situationally. Otherwise, you might think always going forward is the success. No, sometimes taking one step back or going backward itself becomes the success. Some of the revival strategies are given: layoff, corporate restructuring, right? Divestiture, liquidation, turnaround, right? You just read descriptions for these strategies given in your guidebook. And the final point of this sum up webinar is about Porter's general strategy metrics, introduced by Michael Porter. He introduced 3 generic strategies. This is basically at strategic business units. At the level strategic business units, cost leadership, diversification, and focus. They are the 3 generic strategies introduced by Michael Porter. According to Michael Porter, to gain competitive advantages, SBUs could adopt 3 generic competitive strategies. SBUs means strategic business units. So then this is very applicable to a multi-business organization where we see, not at corporate level, the second level, business level strategies, strategic business units. These are the generic strategies introduced by Michael Porter: cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. So this is the metrics. So according to 2 major criteria, scope and the source of competitive advantage, we can develop this type of a matrix, including 4 alternative strategies thereafter. If the scope is narrow and the source of competitive advantage is cost, the strategy is cost focus. If the scope is broad, that means we are serving in a broader market, not in a niche market, not in a niche market, but the mass market, broader market. Source of competitive advantage is the cost, then cost leadership. Cost leadership is the strategy. On the other hand, if the source of competitive advantage is diversification, but in broad market, scope is broad, differentiation would be the most appropriate strategy. But if we are serving in a narrow niche market, narrow market, but still the source of competitive advantage is differentiation, that is differentiation focus, either for cost focus or differentiation focus. Why focus? Because the scope is narrow. Scope is narrow. So we'll go one by one. Cost leadership, very, very important, right? A cost leader likes to focus on a standard product and produce in mass scales. So he or she, the cost leader, could possibly reduce production cost because enjoy economies of scale and provide under a low market price because cost is low. Other competitors cannot compete because produce in large scale, distribute in large scale. The cost leader chooses a low level of product differentiation, no differentiation, right? Standard product produce in mass scale, ignores the different market segments, serve the mass market, mass production, mass distribution, and mass marketing. Mostly engage in mass production, mass marketing to get economies of scale so that the unit price, right, is lower. Develops core competencies mainly in manufacturing and material management, right? Always look ways to minimize the cost per unit through economies of scale, cost per unit. Then other competitors cannot compete using this cost, minimum cost, and in the market, minimum market price. That is the weapon to compete for them. More focus on enhancing the operational efficiency and productivity of the business. You see, there are 3 ways to ensure that costs across the value chain are lower than competitors' total cost. Right? We have to say we are processing in low cost in comparison to other competitors. So how to say? How to say that? Across 3 major factors. Perform value chain activities more efficiently than rivals and control factors that drive cost. Business can. And restoration of the firm's overall value chain to eliminate waste and delays effectively and efficiently than other competitors. Avoid some cost producing activities. They are identified as FLABs, non-value adding activities. Lean management or lean manufacturing means we eradicate or try to eradicate such cost producing activities, which are non-value adding activities, as many as possible, and improve the efficiency of the process, make it more lean. That is lean operations in simple terms, right? Okay. Then the second one, differentiation strategy. You see, what is differentiation, right? Opposite of cost leadership, which is the opposite of cost leadership, differentiation. You see, differentiator likes to focus on a variety of products, not a standard product like we see under cost leader. Not a standard product, but variety of products. So product variety values, it values the most. Not a standard product, remember. Not a standard product, right? Variety of products. Product variety is valued. Considers different market segments, they're not mass market, segments. A differentiator engages in multiple targeting or differentiated marketing and differentiated production, right? Even though it is into mass market, but considers segmental differences in positioning, in promotions, also in producing, right? For each and every segment, might be the customer segment, according to geographical area, according to demographic or cultural factors, under marketing management topic and branding, STP, segmentation, targeting and positioning topic. You see the bases for that and approaches for that, and also how to position, some positioning strategies, right? Please refer to your course manual. That means in your jargon, my dear students, it is your guidebook. Need to develop core competencies in R&D. R&D means research and development, and HRM. But a cost leader, can you remember the previous slide? Cost leader develops core competencies in operations management, material handling, and technology. Today we can say in the area or in the domain of logistics as well, right? That is for cost leader. Always looking ways and means to increase the variety, quality, and flexibility of the products. That is the focus. But in cost leadership, we have seen that Always seek ways and means to improve the operational efficiency. But here, always seek ways and means to increase the variety, quality, and flexibility of the products. Under differentiation strategy, so some examples also given here, Dialog, Toyota, Honda, like that. When differentiation strategy is applied, customers tend to perceive uniqueness in the products, or might be the service, if the service is differentiated, right, in relation to other similar competitors. Why? This product is unique in comparison to other competitors. Because of the color, because of the shape, because of the quality, durability. From which angle? From which perspective? From which factor it adds more value to the customer than other competitors, right? Differentiation could take place in the product, place, promotion, procedures, people, physical environment, leading to actual or perceived value difference. Not only in the product, we can differentiate the place and charge accordingly. And we can differentiate our promotion campaigns also. Not only the product, right? Third generic strategy introduced by Michael Porter is the focus. Serving the needs of a limited customer segment, which is known as niche market. Generally engages in niche and customized production and marketing, either to high-end or high customer, upper level customer, or lower customer, bottom end customer, both. Creates a very unique product at a very low or high premium price, right? Concerns about the unique customer requirements of its niche market. For an example, Sampath Gold Credit Card, Rolex wristwatch, some of the examples. And something interesting other than these three basic strategies or general strategies introduced by Michael Porter, that is blue ocean strategy. In detail, this is given in your course manual, guidebook, please refer. Blue ocean strategy, what it means? Here, the strategic business units try to find an uncompetitive market space where there is no initial competitors. This organization opened the window and enter into the market to get the first move advantage. It is not a red ocean, it is a blue ocean. What is red ocean? The market or the market segment where we experience hyper competition, higher degree of competition. That is a red ocean. But a blue ocean means there is no initial competition at all, no competitors, it's uncompetitive. What is then blue ocean strategy? Finding and operating, first entering and then operating in an uncompetitive market space. Going from red ocean to blue ocean where no competition at all. As I said, red ocean is the market segment or the situation where we experience hyper competition, too much of competition. Ocean is red now because of competitors' blood. You can remember in that way also. But in the blue ocean, water is clear, nothing red still. So get on to that market segment to get the first move advantage. Later on, other competitors will enter. It depends on entry barriers. Blue ocean strategy takes place when an SBU tries to come out with an innovative product using a novel technology. It's like not only just product development according to ANSOF's metrics. Please refer the ANSOF metrics as well in your course manual. ANSOF metrics, right? So this is market development as well. Then product development, also developing a new market. When Apple iPad, right, coming to the market, it was a very good example for that. So this is ANSOF's product market grid, as I said. Details are available in your course manual for this ANSOF's metrics. 2 dimensions or two criteria given, market and the product. If we serve in the Current market using the current product, that is market penetration strategy. If using the current product, we enter into new market, market development, because the same product, we develop just a new market segment. On the other hand, if we present new product into the current market segment, that is product development. If we develop a new product and enter into a new market with that, that is diversification. This is according to the grand marketing strategies introduced by ANSF, that is product market grid. So this is what I want to emphasize in this webinar. Starting from a very brief note about fundamental concepts in management, management definition, organizational perspectives and approaches, and then strategic management. So this is a short webinar to help you, as I mentioned at the very beginning of the webinar. This is an eye-opener for you to more concern on the course manual and your notes if you participated in classes, please refer to such. And remember another one secret before winding up the webinar: never use general terms when writing answers for business management paper. We have a jargon in the subject. Use that jargon, technical words in the subject when writing answers. So you will get more marks. And your answer should be focused, not something like around the bush. It should not be around the bush answer, right? When it comes to explain or describe or discuss type question, but well-focused, methodical answer. Then you will get more marks, full marks. Okay, that's what we want to emphasize in this webinar. So thank you very much, and good luck for your examination.